We are on our way to the rig. We are going to pick it up because we have a trip planned for this coming weekend, and you're going to see me putting my batteries back in the camper. We got them home, and Gary lent me his trickle charger, which worked like a dream. They have held their charge, which means they are not ruined. So today they're both showing 12.5 volts on my multimeter that I finally used. And so we're running down there. We're going to drop the batteries in. That way we can raise and lower the fifth wheel. And we're going to bring it home. We're going to fuel up the generators because we're going to a campground that has no power or it really no services. So we're dry camping basically. And we're going to go on our trip next weekend. So that's our status right now. I'll get those batteries in, we'll get Beauty home, and we'll go from there.
You could be larger than life, bigger than the world, living out the hopes and dreams of every boy and every girl. You could fly higher than the sky, shine brighter than the stars.
Oh, here we are back at the rig again, installing the batteries. How's it going, Carl?
It's going good. We just need to get all of our connections good and tight. And then we should be good to go. If everything is right, we should be able to push the little apparatus and the jack should go up. Let's see what happens. We have power.
Oh, yay! Yippee skippy.
Ground. And positive. That should do it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to nub it forward. Stop.
Okay.
There it goes.
That's beautiful. You lined up just almost perfect.
Good job.
Chain out of the way.
Stop.
Okay. Feet up.
All the way. Hi everyone, and welcome to Rambling on RV. So guess what happened? I don't do it often, but I made a mistake, and I'm going to tell you what I did. Okay, we have the Tire Minder tire monitoring system on our rig, and that's the one with the little transmitters on each valve stem, and it feeds a signal into the truck. And part of how it does that is it uses this little antenna. So what the idea is you put the antenna, you mount it underneath your rig, and then it receives the signal from the hubs, from the wheels, from the tire pressure, and it shoots that into the cab of the truck to the receiver in the truck. And it works great, and I love it, and it gives you such a peace of mind as you're going down the road, because the alarm will go off if your tires start to lose pressure or if they start to heat up, right? And heating up of a tire is the first sign that maybe you have low air pressure. It's a wonderful gadget, and I won't travel without it. So this weekend, we brought the rig home, and when I installed this, as you can see, it uses these little baby alligator clips to lock onto the battery. And when I installed this, I mounted it down below on the frame of the rig. I was able to strap it under there with zip ties, and it's got little elephant ears or dog ears where you can run the zip tie through, and I mounted it to the frame, and I was very pleased with myself that I came up with such a genius plan. And then I ran this up through the hole where the actual landing gear comes out of the rig, and it went right up there. I clamped it to the battery, hot to hot, ground to ground, and it worked perfectly. And we've been using it now for maybe like 2 years since we bought it. They're not inexpensive. They're about $300 to get the whole setup. So anyway, so I had it strapped, I had these hooked up, we got home with it, and I was lowering the landing gear, and because this ran out the hole where the landing gear came, the landing gear actually snagged the cable. I didn't see it at the time. It snagged the cable. These pulled loose from the battery, which is a good thing, because they were trying to relieve the stress. But the unfortunate part is that it pulled the wiring out from the unit, and if you look in it, the cap pops off. You can see that this was soldered in there, and I'm not good with this, and I don't even know how to solder, and basically it damaged this beyond repair. So my wife Donna, who is very enterprising when it comes to me making mistakes and her trying to fix them, she went online and she found a whole relay unit online. It's Tire Minder, uses the same alligator clips. And this component out of that whole $300 contraption that I just talked about, this is only 60 bucks. So that's relatively inexpensive. The receiver is probably the most expensive part of the setup. And then each tire, those little sending units that you put on the valve stem of each tire, those aren't inexpensive either, unless you're buying them one at a time or whatever. But the bottom line is I can now use this. I'll plug it in. It uses the same alligator clips. These are actually slightly more robust than the ones that came with the original unit. It should speak to my receiver inside the truck because it's not proprietary. So I'll keep my fingers crossed on that, and I will report back to you as well. But this is the plan right now, is to install this before we go out of town. We'll probably video that, but it will probably be in next week's video that you'll see us actually reinstall this unit. But I wanted to tell you about it because if you just leave these cables hanging like I did, I had them all gathered up inside, but somehow it got loose and it dangled, and when it dangled, the landing gear gripped it as it was slowly going down, and it just pulled the wiring out as I just showed you. So that's a handy tip for Tire Minder users. There are much more solid ways to mount these than the way I do it, but I'm going to show you how I do it because the install can actually go very quickly, and it's very inexpensive if you do it yourself. And I'll just do it a little bit better this time so that my cable's not as free flowing. Hey y'all, Cletus here. I have two things that I want to tell you. The first thing I want to tell you is I told him. Carl hooked that apparatus for the Tire Minder up all wrong, and I told him not to do it that way, and he did it that way anyway. He don't listen to me. Nobody listens to Cletus. Second thing I want to tell you is we love our subscribers, and we want you to be a Rambler. And if you want to be a Rambler, all you got to do is hit that subscribe button. Once you're subscribed to the channel, you're a Rambler, and we like Ramblers. We love our Ramblers, and that's all I know about that.
Hey, you guys, we just wanted to take a minute and tell you how much we appreciate our veteran service. And we just wanted to take a minute and talk about Memorial Day and how we choose to honor our veterans for their service. And thank you to all of you guys
Yeah.
for everything you've done.
A few weeks ago, you probably saw our episode where we highlighted Quilts of Valor, which is an organization that donates quilts in honor of and out of respect for veterans. And that was a very unique time for us. Our brother-in-law was honored and was given a quilt. And we just want to say that veterans, thank you for everything you do. We truly appreciate that you have made our country free and you have made our country what it is. Don't ever think that we take you for granted.
Absolutely not. Listen, don't forget to like, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, and share.
And we'll see you next week.
week.